trying to tell the public we're in a massive misinformation campaign. The president himself tweeting out AI videos of fake news reports on healthcare. This is really dangerous, and it's really hard. And I cannot express to you the concern and the absolute bafflement and fear of our European allies asking me, is this stuff really going on?
Tim Walz just turned politics into a masterclass in controlled demolition. While others tiptoe around Donald Trump's ego like it's a national monument, Walz marched straight in with a sledgehammer of common sense and left the whole circus shaking. It wasn't a debate, it was a public service announcement disguised as a roast. Walz didn't argue, he dismantled. Every myth Trump built about being the ultimate deal-maker or genius leader fell apart like cheap stage props under the weight of one man's calm, cutting clarity.
We wouldn't wake up every day to a bunch of on TV and a bunch of nonsense. We would wake up to an adult with compassion and dignity and vision and leadership doing the work, not a man-child crying about whatever's wrong with him. May his fat ankles find something today.
Walz treated Trump's political theater like a high school talent show that never ended. One contestant grew up and started governing, the other got stuck believing applause was policy. Trump's presidency became a reality show where the drama outweighed the progress, and Walz was the first to walk on stage, look around, and ask why the lights were still on. Trump's administration is a blooper reel that never made the cut, and Walz plays it like a highlight reel of how not to run a country.
He negotiated the damn trade deal with them. If trade is so bad with Canada, he was the guy who signed the deal. It defies logic. But look, I think this is how he ran business. He stiffed contractors. He stiffed workers. He doesn't pay his bills. He declares bankruptcy. The one thing is, his claim that he's the business president, he is the worst possible business executive that I have ever witnessed.
If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. When Walz talks about leadership, it's a quiet contrast that stings harder than any insult. He doesn't need to shout, reality does it for him. While Trump measures success by rally size, Walz measures it by results that don't need a camera crew. Every Trump achievement sounds like a pitch, every Walz result feels like quiet competence doing laps around chaos. The loudest man in the room just got outclassed by the calmest one.
Government and FCC canceling Jimmy Kimmel. Stephen Colbert, and I said it, this is North Korea type crap that they're doing. It is the definition of censorship that you would find in your civics textbooks if they hadn't already scrubbed those textbooks.
Walz doesn't go for cheap shots, he goes for truths Trump can't dodge. Leadership isn't a stage act, it's not about who can yell the loudest or brag the longest. Trump's presidency, for all its pageantry, has the structure of one of his casinos, shiny on the outside, bankrupt on the inside, and doomed the moment someone checks the books. Trump calls himself a builder, but Walz shows he builds nothing but drama. He's a construction worker of chaos, laying bricks of outrage wherever the cameras point. Walz, patient and precise, actually understands the assignment. When he steps up, it's not ego, it's work. He fixes what Trump breaks without applause. One man chases headlines. The other quietly writes history.
And we're at a point now, and you know it, and you have your neighbors knowing this. Whether they're a U.S. citizen or not, what they know is this president's personal police force can disappear you at a whim. That's where we're living. And I said, don't even get me started on RFK Jr. Actively keeping life-saving vaccines out of the reach of all of us.
The best part is how effortlessly Walz exposes Trump's contradictions. Trump preaches law and order while swimming in scandal. He demands loyalty from a party that's learned to hide its eye rolls. Walz doesn't mock, he mirrors. Every Trump tantrum becomes its own parody next to real leadership. Trump's idea of governing is like running a company with the slogan, "I meant to do that." He treats accountability like an optional upgrade. Walz dismantles that by simply existing. Trump wants fireworks. Walz delivers function. In the end, substance always outlives spectacle. Watching Walz dissect Trump's politics is like watching a teacher grade an essay written in all caps and self-praise. There's nothing to correct because there's no substance to begin with. Trump's policies look like unfinished brainstorm notes. Walz's governance looks like the completed homework. Trump built his identity on chaos, and Walz uses that same chaos as comedy. His takedown isn't spiteful, it's surgical. Trump believes charisma equals competence, while Walz knows results are the only measure of leadership. When the noise fades, the contrast is brutal.
He identified that we do have a broken system in this country. He ran on a promise to bring down prices on day one for working people, and he hasn't done a damn thing about it since then. Eggs, chickens, pork, beef, you name it, all are up over 10%. But I keep saying this, they said, well, you never, ever give the president credit for when he keeps his word on something. And I said, well, it's rare, but he did keep his word on something. He did bring something down. Tax rates for billionaires who golf with him.
What makes Walz's destruction of Trump so effective is his calm tone. It's not anger, it's disbelief. He treats Trump's leadership claims like excuses from a student who lost his homework. Walz says what the country's been thinking. How did we get here? Trump's playbook runs on self-congratulation. If something fails, it's sabotage. If it works, it's genius. Walz tears through that illusion, showing that leadership is about impact, not headlines. Trump builds a brand. Walz builds progress. Trump demands applause. Walz earns it.
I got to tell you, pointing out just an observation of mine that I made. I just have to say it. You know it, you feel it. These guys are creepy, and yes, just weird as hell. That's what you see. That's what you see.
Look, I get it. You get up in the morning and you doom scroll through things, and although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying, there will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
Walz points out the irony of Trump's patriotism being defined by attention. His love for America depends on how loudly it praises him. Walz flips that narrative, proving true patriotism earns trust, not loyalty pledges. Trump performs nationalism like Broadway. Walz practices it through policy. Trump's business boasts become Walz's comedy. Gold, the businessman who bankrupted casinos, now lectures America on stability. Walz highlights the difference. Trump chases cameras, Walz chases results.
He said those in power weren't responsive enough, so he stacked his cabinet with lobbyists and industry tycoons so they do the bidding of their corporate overlords. And he said we needed to root out government waste, so he did trim the fat. Things that we don't really need, like childhood cancer research, Medicaid for our parents, payments to keep rural hospitals open. And by the way, just as we stand here today on what they've done, 18 of our hospitals in Minnesota are at risk of closing their doors in greater Minnesota because of the big, beautiful bullshit bill that was passed.
When Walz talks about Trump's endless need for validation, it's surgical. He doesn't mock the insecurity, he exposes its danger in power. Trump governs like a man auditioning for applause, and Walz shows the cost. Every decision becomes theater, every mistake a spin. Trump's foreign policy is a punchline. America first somehow always puts logic last. It's a circus where truth sits backstage and Walz just holds the flashlight while the audience finally sees the wires. Walz dismantles Trump's crisis management like a teacher reviewing a failed science project. The hypothesis was leadership, the result was chaos. Trump's formula deny, distract, deflect could be printed on a t-shirt. Walz's calm competence becomes the antidote. He doesn't attack, he dissects. Trump's scandals and blunders build a case satire can't top. The man who promised greatness ends up outsmarted by competence. The showman who fed off attention gets silenced by results.
Think of how easy it would be to be a damn Republican. Oh, what should I wear today? This stupid freaking red hat. What should I say today? I don't know, just make sure it's cruel. Who do we listen to? That guy. Oh, the felon in the White House? Yeah, listen to him and that will be fine. Now he's talking about burning flags. He's going to have flag burning or whatever. Because he knows there's a hell of a lot of flags with his picture on it that are going to get burned. There's a whole lot of that kind of crap that people are sick of. And I have to tell you, we can have our internal decision-making, our internal healthy debates.
The beauty of Walz's destruction lies in its simplicity. He doesn't rant, he reveals. Trump's flaws don't need exaggeration, they just need light. The master of spin meets the man who doesn't play the game, and suddenly the theatrics look small. Walz ends not with noise but quiet triumph. Trump's chaos collapses under its own weight. The man who built an empire on bravado is undone by fact, humor, and calm precision. The spotlight moves. The noise fades. The entertainer is left in yesterday's headlines while Walz quietly writes tomorrow's.